It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
Sarah, am I seeing double? What do we got going on here?
You're seeing double Jack Daniel's Bonded.
New stuff, new to their line, permanent additions from here on out. I was actually tasting on them earlier because I don't know if you saw...
Chad, that's cheating. It's an uncorking.
Well, no, I don't know if you saw the one episode, viewer. It was our 200th uncorking where we said,
Did you watch it?
From here on out, we're not going to open them for the first time right here. Mm-hmm. Because if we want to drink on them, if we want them to open up in the bottle,
sure, then
we're going to do that now. So,
uncorkings are just, single bottle reviews, or in this case, a double uncorking. It's so beautiful.
Double uncorking all the way.
You stole it from me. Yeah.
But you still get pause for cork pop.
Okay.
We're starting out with the Jim Beam Bonded. Jim Beam. Jim Beam, did you hear that, folks?
I know.
Whoopsie.
I'm like...
You can tell I'm from Kentucky, can't you?
Wow.
Jack Daniel's Bonded, which is this one right here. It's the not triple.
It does do the Lincoln County process, right?
Right.
We know it's at least 4 years, but
it's bottled and bond.
Rumored to be 4 to 5 years.
Well, normal Jack Daniel's, regular old number 7, is said to be 4 to 5 years.
So wouldn't it only make sense if they're basically... From what I understand is that it's regular Jack Daniel's except for it's 100 proof instead of 80 proof, right? It's bottled and bond.
Yeah, and it goes through those other, one distilling season, one distiller,
bonded warehouse. But the proof is probably the biggest difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Regular old number 7 is 80 proof. This is 100 proof. But this isn't a 700 milliliter bottle instead of a 750.
Means that they must be doing international things.
They are doing international in the later part of 2022. I guess they didn't want to do 2 bottles. I don't know.
Which makes sense for production, I guess.
$29.99.
$29.99 and $32.99.
They said this is their first addition in 25 years to their super premium category.
Okay.
So there you go. I don't know.
Interesting language.
This little pamphlet that came with it. Let's see if it gives any good information here. It's their same mash bill, so it's 80% corn, 12% malted barley, and 8% rye. But it's more than the Jack Daniel's Old Number 7 at 100 proof. The distinctiveness lies in the taste profile of the barrels hand-selected expressly for this whiskey.
Admittedly, in the past, I am not a Jack Daniel's fan. I really like their barrel proof, their single barrel proof, and single barrel proof rye, which was a tongue twister. But other than that, I haven't found anything else that I'm over the moon about.
Sure.
So
not big fans of the Old Number 7 and the Gentleman Jack.
Oh no.
We've had some of their Tennessee tasters. There's a whole episode where we taste through
what I was gonna say.
7 different. It's linked up here.
There were some in that episode that I was like, oh, I'm partial to this.
Right.
I'm feeling this a little bit more.
Now we did have their 10-year, which is 97 proof. $80 for that. I mean, we like that. And this is basically the same proof, just not the 10 years. So.
I mean, I get their kind of traditional notes on the nose. It does smell like it's got a little bit more umph.
Banana.
Yeah, that Brown-Forman signature note. It's kind of got a sweetness to it, some fruity notes, and I do get the malted barley content on there too, though, which I like. That little hint of nuttiness.
Not a bad nose. It's going for the taste of your health. It's sweet, as they tend to be, but I do like the proof. I mean,
it makes sense that it's sweet. It's 80% corn.
80% corn, right. And it's also, charcoal mellow, the Lincoln County process. 10 days dripping through charcoal maple chips. Not a particularly long finish. I already went in for my second sip. But I do like the proof difference. This is 20 proof points higher than the $21 Old Number 7.
Agreed.
So I think for $21 to $30, that $9 is well spent for these 20 proof points.
I agree. I think it's giving it more body, more of a mouthfeel, a little bit of a longer finish, and just amping up the flavors more. I am not mad about it.
No, me either.
I mean, for $29.99 is not an unfair price for a bonded product, and that ain't bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Second sip, after you do, second sip, it does actually start to give you kind of a...
It sits around
kind of
for
a
longer.
hug.
Yeah.
And the finish for me is sort of like a barrel, but in a minty type of way. I'm getting this sort of minty tingle across the tongue.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an effervescence and a peppery note on the finish, which I wouldn't expect because I usually pair that with rye, and it only has 8% rye.
It's almost got a little bit of tobacco in a way, not tobacco like you get in age, but I don't know. It's probably just more the barrel, but that sort
Do you
of
think that's
prickliness, or maybe it's sharp
maple
edges.
charcoal filtered?
Yeah, could be.
You know?
Could be.
So as I'm going back to it on the nose, I'm getting those like orangey, cherry, toasted oak notes that I feel like are pretty synonymous with Brown-Forman products. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's very true to their brand. I mean, it's not like, I wouldn't expect it to go off in a different direction, but it doesn't.
Okay, I'm gonna let the rest of mine
We'll hang out.
sit there. We're gonna grab our second glass, and we're gonna go into this triple mash blended straight whiskey.
How is it different?
It's different because
It's also 100 proof. It's also bonded.
It's also bonded, yeah. It's a combination of 3 different of their whiskeys. So 60% of this is made up of a Jack Daniel's rye. Then the other 20% is basically Jack Daniel's. And then the last 20% is Jack Daniel's American malt. So rye, whiskey, malt whiskey.
Interesting.
You see what I mean? Like rye whiskey, whiskey, malt whiskey. Like,
Yeah.
I guess you just have to call it Jack Daniel's whiskey for that second one. I don't know. It's confusing.
It's a little confusing.
Pause for cork pop.
I don't know how to feel about it. I guess we'll find out.
So this one is the more expensive of the two by $3. This is $32.99 MSRP. Not bad for another bottled and bond product, especially with more rye.
Super premium one.
Super premium. Smells about the same. Wait.
What did you do? Did you pour it in there?
I'm an idiot. I poured this on top of the... Wow.
Well, now that's void.
That's gone. You all saw me do that and you didn't say anything.
Nobody stopped him. I didn't stop him.
Went to smell the glass and it was like, there's nothing in here. Okay.
How much have you had before
That's
this?
what, none.
I think it smells more marshmallowy.
Oh, she's yours.
Toasty. A little bit more oak influence, but there's a...
Not as sweet, maybe.
Yeah, there's not as much of a sweetness. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but you know how like you have sweet desserts, but then there's like angel food cake, which is sweet, but it's not. It's like airy and light, and it's like, it's sweet, but it's not, you know,
It's not gonna fill
creme
you
brulee
up.
or whatever.
It's not gonna be filling.
It's not
or like make
sickeningly
you
sweet.
sick if you eat too much of it. Sure.
Kind of, yeah. It doesn't have that syrupy sweetness. It's just light and delicate, and that's the kind of sweetness note I get on the nose of this.
I feel you.
If that makes sense at all.
Gonna dive in. But before we do, we want to tell you about our home on the internet is whiskyambitions.com. It's where you can get t-shirts, hats, the Glencairns we're drinking from. We also have copitas, rocks glasses, water glasses, challenge coins, pins, hoodies, candles, barrel stave coasters, more always coming soon at whiskyambitions.com.
You can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight. Join our community for as little as $1 a month. That's where we exclusively release our barrel picks.
Barrel picks.
And after the episode shows with us.
Exclusives.
Very exclusive.
All right.
Actually,
Wow.
upon smelling this again, I think angel food cake was not a bad note.
Not a bad note.
It has a little more barrel influence.
Well, I was gonna say it's sort of lighter and easier. I don't get as much proof exactly.
I don't know if I agree with that. It's a first sip.
Well, yeah, you're right. Never evaluate on the first sip, especially when you have something else on your palate. Second sip. Okay.
If you gave this to me blind,
And I will.
I don't know that I would know it was Jack Daniel's.
I don't know if I would know it's 60% of a rye. Although, ooh, building heat.
Oh, I can feel the pepperiness on
Building heat.
it sits on the back of your tongue.
Yeah.
It'll light a little fire there.
I mean, I guess technically it is a barely legal rye because 60% of it is a rye and then 40% are not rye whiskeys.
But one of them has 8% rye.
One of them has 8% rye, and
So
who
it's-
knows the rye percentage of the rye.
Yeah.
Might be because we've been drinking now, but I feel like it's quicker to the hug.
I have to check in with myself sometimes because I'm like, I wish it had more of a mouthfeel. Like I want that coating. I'm actually
$33?
surprised. So I'm getting there. It's only $33. Keep that in mind, you know.
Sure.
But I do like the flavors.
Yeah, definitely more. It's not quite going towards like eucalyptus or that type of rye notes, but there is more rye on the palate. Are you still getting more barrel in this one?
A little bit on the finish. Maybe it's just the rye and I'm getting like the peppery, darker notes. I don't think it's as light. I think the first one was sweeter.
I get a little darker notes, like more syrup and just darkness in the regular.
Well, I have a favorite between the two.
I don't know about body-wise, but I feel like flavor-wise, there's more going on here that I sort of gravitate towards. I feel like they're both sort of on the same level as far as like, you know, mouthfeel or finish or all that. but I think I also have a favorite. So if we were doing a drink this or that,
if we were doing a drink this or that,
which this could just turn into,
potentially,
which one would you drink over?
This one.
Yeah, me too. I feel like the $3 extra. It's a combination. Okay, so in their press release, they said of this one, the triple mash, they said, it's a remarkable whiskey that can only be crafted by a complete distillery like Jack Daniel's. That's a statement right there.
A remarkable whiskey that can only be crafted like by a complete
distillery.
What does that mean?
Well, they do have their own cooperage.
Oh, so they're
they
saying
make their
like
own barrels.
The life cycle of a whiskey is born and dies, I guess.
I
guess.
Full
circle of life.
Yeah.
I mean, only Jack Daniels can make a Jack Daniels
right.
triple mash blended straight whiskey, right?
Yeah.
So it's not true.
Here in the little pamphlet, it says this is a one-of-a-kind expression crafted at a complete one-of-a-kind distillery. What arises from this gentle mingling of three whiskeys are pleasant notes of, now we can read the notes, of honey, malt, and soft oak, leading to a well-rounded finish.
That's this one.
Yeah.
I get the soft oak, for sure. Honey.
Flavors back here on this guy, we can read now. Layered with notes of caramel, rich oak, and spice, giving way to a pleasantly lingering finish.
All right, then.
Okay.
I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised by the outcome here, because I did not anticipate feeling so open, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. I think especially for the price points, I think it's a fair price point, and I kind of think it's impressive to see, although they are a major distillery and they can do this, but to see distilleries in today's day and age where everything's limited and everything's over $75 and it comes out 3 times a year and now you got to collect them all, to see someone put out a bonded product when you don't have to,
right,
for a reasonable price that is, still representative of your core brand, but also ups the quality. Like, I respect that.
We're dealing with the best-selling American whiskey here in Jack Daniel's, the brand, Old Number 7 being that one. But I don't know if you are an 80 proof drinker, if you would appreciate this. I mean, we're kind of removed from that space. We certainly appreciate the 20 extra proof points, and we would say that again, that extra $9, that extra $12 is worth it to step up to these. Let's do recommend or not, Sarah.
I don't know, Chad.
30, 33 for a 700 ml.
I feel like a recommend. I mean,
I would also.
I did not think that I was gonna do that. Now, for this one, I would say, I'm not recommending it, but I think this one tastes maybe more true to the 80 proof flavors, true to the core bottle. So if you're just like, I'm not a fan of Jack Daniel's, then I would probably say you might like this one better, but it's still probably not gonna be the thing that you wanna reach for. Is that a price point too, though, where it's not gonna break the bank to try it?
I would love to try this, and maybe we're looking at the beginnings of a blind flight here. I would like to try this with some Old Forester products that are in.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because I would feel like I would recommend this to someone who really likes the Old Forester.
Old Forester 100.
100 proof flavor profiles. Well, looks like we have the beginnings of a flight fight here. Ooh. So I'm sort of, kind of depends on where you land in the Jack Daniel's portfolio.
I guess I'd rather spend a couple more bucks than get this one.
Right. By the way, we should have said this top of episode, but these bottles were sent to us by the distillery, but there was no exchange of funds. There was no promise for a review.
No bartering.
They do not get to see an early cut of this. None of that. Full disclosure. But
our opinions are our own.
That we did not pay for these bottles, but there you go. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to us already, we'd love to have you. You can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. We'll see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay. Until next time, drink more whiskey.